Let us discuss electric potential in case of a continuous charge distribution. If charge distribution is continuous, then we can consider a small element of charge having charge dq, and we can find potential due to that element. This element dq can be treated as a point charge. We can find potential at a particular point due to such elements of charges, and then we can algebraically add all potentials due to each element to find net potential. So in this case, in case of continuous charge distribution, we divide the charge distribution into a large number of small charge elements. Each charge element with charge dq can be treated as a point charge. So net potential at a point P, V is equal to integration dV. Here dV, it is potential due to a charge element. And you can have dV is equal to dV, this is the potential due to a charge element having charge dq, and dq can be treated as a point charge. So dV is equal to how much? 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught dq upon r. Here r, it is the distance of point P from this element of charge. Remember, here we have assumed potential 0 at infinity. Only then this relation is applicable. So it can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught integration dq upon r. And this integration, it is to be performed over the entire charge distribution. Now let us see potential due to a spherical charge distribution. Due to a spherical charge distribution. For example, due to a uniformly charged spherical cell. Uniformly charged thin spherical cell. So here, let us consider a spherical cell having charge distributed uniformly on its surface say Q charge, it is distributed on surface of the spherical cell uniformly. Say capital R is the radius of this spherical cell. To find potential at a point outside the spherical cell or on external surface. So number one, at points outside the cell, spherical cell, or on the external surface of the cell. In this case, here we can assume charge Q to be at the center of the cell using cell theorem 1 in electrostatics. You know, for points outside spherical cell or points on external surface, charge of cell can be assumed to be concentrated at its center if charge is uniformly distributed on the cell. So this point is P and distance between O and P is R. So here at point P, potential V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Here we have assumed cell theorem 1 in electrostatics. A uniform cell, a cell of uniform charge, exerts force on a point charge outside the cell as the charge of the cell is concentrated at its center. That is, for outside points, as well as for points on external surface, charge on the spherical shell can be assumed to be concentrated at the center of the shell. So this is the potential at this point P. And this relation, it holds if R it is greater or equal to capital R. Means points they are outside the shell or points they are on external surface of the shell. And from here you can see if small r is equal to capital R, then VR means potential on external surface. It is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Number 2, at points inside the spherical shell, you know, inside spherical shell, electric field at each point is 0. This means if we consider 2 points inside shell, then no work is done by the electric field in moving a positive test charge from one point to the other. This means potential difference between 2 points inside spherical shell is 0. You know, dF minus di, it is equal to minus W upon Q naught. If we consider 2 points, say this point, this is point I, this point is F. So Vf minus Vi, it is equal to minus W upon Q naught. Here W, this is the work done by electric force in moving test charge plus Q naught from point I to point F. Since electric field it is 0 at each point inside spherical shell, so there is no electrostatic force acting on Q naught charge, so W is equal to 0. So this means Vf is equal to Vi. If we consider one point on internal surface, here say our F point, final point, this is on internal surface, and you know, at points on internal surface electric field is 0 inside spherical shell. So if we consider point on internal surface, here electric field is 0. This means potential at this point is equal to potential at point I. What we are doing here, we are taking this point as a point. Initial point is this one and final point is this on internal surface. So in this case, Vf is equal to Vi, and you know this point, this is on surface, and you have seen potential at a point on surface is this one. This means Vi is equal to Vf, and Vf here it is equal to Vr, and which is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Means, and this I point, this is inside spherical shell. So you can say V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R if small r is less than capital R. That is, at points inside spherical shell, potential it is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. You can see this relation is also applicable if small r it is equal to capital R. Potential at points on external surface, at points on internal surface, it is same. Only there is discontinuity of electric field. Electric field on external surface is non-zero. Electric field on internal surface is 0. Let us find electric potential due to a uniformly charged, infinite, straight wire. Electric potential due to a uniformly charged straight infinite wire or cylinder. So here we consider a cylinder. It is very long, theoretically infinite, and say this is the axis of the cylinder. And this radius of this cylinder is capital R. And it is uniformly charged. Say positive charge is distributed uniformly with linear charge density lambda. We want to find potential at this point. Say this point is P and it is r distance away from center of the wire or cylinder. Now consider a plus Q naught test charge that moves from a point on the surface of this wire to this point P along this straight line, and say this point which is on the surface, this point is A. So displacement of this test charge, it is in this direction, and say this is dx, and this distance of this plus Q naught charge at a certain instant from this point O, so this is x. You know electric field. Due to uniformly charged straight infinite wire E is equal to 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda upon x into x cap. Here at this point, which is x distance away from center of the wire, electric field, it is given by this relation. X cap, it is unit vector in the direction along this straight line, that is rightward. Lambda is linear charge density of this wire, and x is this distance of this point from center of the wire. So here you see E vector. This is E vector. E vector and dx vector, they are in same direction. And you know, we have defined potential Vf minus Vi. We have defined potential difference Vf minus Vi, it is equal to minus integration E dot ds in the limit I to f. Here our ds vector, it is equal to dx vector. So E vector dot dx vector, and charge plus Q naught, it moves from point A to point P. Point A, it is on the surface, which is at capital R distance from center of the wire. So limit you can put from capital R to small r. Point P, it is small r distance away from center of the wire, and point A, it is capital R distance away from center of the wire. You can put value of E. So you have 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda upon x cap dot dx vector, and dx vector you can say dx into x cap, because dx vector it is also rightward and our unit vector x cap it is along rightward. So here dx vector it is equal to dx into x cap. So it becomes minus, limits are capital R to small r. So x cap dot x cap it becomes 1, and here you have 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught lambda upon x dx, limit capital R to small r. So Vr minus Vi. Now F point means point P. So here potential, this is Vr. Vi. Vi means potential at point A, means V capital R. It is equal to minus 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught, lambda is constant, and here you have 1 upon x dx. Limits are from capital R to small r. So you have, and you know integration 1 upon x dx it is log x. So natural logarithm ln x, limits capital R to small r. So it is equal to ln small r minus ln capital R. So this is equal to minus lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught ln small r upon capital R. Log n minus log n is equal to log m upon n. Here on the left hand side you have Vr minus V capital R. If we set V capital R is equal to 0, generally potential we take in 0 at infinity, but here we are setting potential 0 on surface of this wire. So V capital R is equal to 0. In this case, V small r it is equal to minus lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught ln r upon capital R. Or simply you can say V is equal to minus lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught ln small r upon capital R. So it gives potential at a point r, small r distance away from the wire. Here you can see we have assumed potential 0 on the surface of the wire, and potential at finite distance small r, you can see this potential is negative, and at infinity this small r it becomes equal to infinity, so it will become infinite. V is equal to minus infinite. Here we have taken potential 0 on surface of the wire, and as we move away from the wire potential decreases and it becomes in minus infinity at infinite distance away from the wire. From this relation you can see if this small r is constant, then potential is constant. So in this case equipotential surface is cylindrical. If this small r is constant, then V will be constant. So for a uniformly charged straight infinite wire or cylinder, equipotentials, they are coaxial cylinders with axis of the wire. So here you can draw equipotentials or equipotential surfaces for this long uniformly charged wire or cylinder. These surfaces, they are cylindrical. Backwards. So these are equipotential surfaces.